Hello, loves. Welcome to the Live Your Freedom Now podcast. I'm Megan Colleen Johnson, and this podcast is dedicated to discussing dominant cultural narratives and beliefs, what I call dominant dogma, how this keeps you from thriving in life and business, and how to overcome that dogma by living your freedom now. While this path sounds clean and straightforward, the truth is life and being human is messy. So around here, we value the both and. We'll hold space for where you're at and honor the freedom you'd like to see and feel within yourself. Hit subscribe to stay updated, and for more information about me, my work, and to download my free Freedom Manifesto with all the details on what Dominant Dogma is, head to megscolleen.com. If you're curious to have the Dominant Dogma in your life talked about on the podcast, shoot me a text at 312-815-2774 and fill me in. Episode 8. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Today, I am writing from my bedroom. After a rough night's sleep, and what seems to be a flare-up of issues due to my journey with gut dysbiosis, I'm feeling quite tender today, and writing from my bedroom seems the kindest thing to do. Over the weekend, I patched up the cream-colored anthropology quilt that is spread across my bed, and I added in a new fluffy throw blanket, so even with my health feeling a bit ho-hum today, my space feels refreshed. Additionally, my pup is always close by, currently curled up in the corner, and I have a giant hot mug of fresh lemon ginger water on my nightstand. As we enter into this space, this conversation together, I invite you to take a moment and attune to your surroundings. No matter what is going on around you or within you, simply pause. Notice what is around you that is stable. The chair or the floor beneath you, the textures touching your skin, where there is light, where there are shadows. Not judging anything, just simply noticing. Before we dive into today's episode, I'm so excited to let you know that my Creative Business Accelerator on my terms is open for enrollment from April 1st through May 31st. This space is for you if you are ready to hand back the shoulds and the musts that have seized control of your business to reclaim your vision and run your business on your terms. I only host this program one time per year, and to celebrate this enrollment period, I also have my Integral Sales and Marketing Masterclass available for free on my website. Ready to learn more and access the free masterclass? Head to megscolleen.com now. All right, let's dive in. Today, our focus is discussing the dominant dogma, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, or more simply put, the dominant dogma of toxic self-reliance. Last week, we talked about the internalized dominant dogma that says they have it better than me, and the freedom on the other side, self-responsibility. Today, we're balancing out that conversation with the freedom of interdependence. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps is most commonly understood as meaning to improve your situation by your own unaided efforts. It's a concept that could direct one to a healthy consideration of self-responsibility, working hard to thrive in business and in life, no matter what is given or not given from others. However, largely due to the hyper-independence and masculinity of Western culture, many have embraced the ideal dogmatically, finding themselves hustling for wholeness and feeling less than human when unable to keep up. In my research of this topic, I was grateful to find that many are debunking the statement's essence of toxic independence and toxic self-reliance. But the message pervades in different forms such as hustle culture, girl boss culture, and startup culture. Each of these quote-unquote cultures could be considered dominant dogmas of their own, but ultimately they all fall under this overarching dominant dogma and theme of self-reliance. This dominant dogma often sounds like, work hard for your dreams, no one else will. Hustle your way to the top. Bootstrap your own success. You get what you work for. Be the hardest working person you know. Don't wish for it, work for it. Why are mantras and ideals like this so toxic? This quote from David E. Lewis, a contributing opinion writer for the Harvard Crimson, summarizes it well. It, toxic self-reliance, creates a culture that relies on a fixed, privileged view that assumes all people should be like the white, cisgender, straight, able-bodied, male default who are supposedly entirely self-reliant. End quote. When you embrace a mindset of toxic self-reliance, you are falling prey to a narrative you were never meant to fit within. A narrative that is, in essence, violent towards women, minorities, and the most vulnerable in society. Additionally, this narrative of toxic self-reliance requires that you forget your innate connectedness, that you place yourself on an isolated pedestal, forgetting the earth which nourishes you, your ancestors who came before you, your teachers and mentors who have poured into you, and your family, chosen or biological, who surround you. Ultimately, the dominant dogma of pull yourself up by your bootstraps strips you of your congruent, nuanced, whole, and natural self. The freedom on the other side. Interdependence. Quote, interdependence suggests the partners recognize and value the importance of the emotional bond they share while maintaining a solid sense of self within the relationship dynamic. End quote. Jody Clark. It's okay to be supported. It's okay to be nourished. It's okay to be taught. It's okay to ask for help. When living from the dominant dogma of toxic self-reliance, it can feel wrong or bad to ask for help, to recognize our wise teachers, to remember our innate interdependence and connection. But the freedom on the other side, the freedom now, is you are not meant to go this alone, and you are not alone. You are supported by the earth. You are part of a lineage of ancestors. You are poured into by mentors and teachers, whether directly or indirectly. Now, it is your job to accept the supportive connections already surrounding you, attune to them, and communicate your needs. Explore the freedom of teaching your support system how they can best relate with you and cultivate delicious reciprocal relationships built on interdependence. This is living your freedom now. To help further explore and integrate today's freedom, I have a few journal prompts. 1. Where in your life are you trying to pull yourself up by your bootstraps? 2. Has this mindset been supportive for you? 3. How has this mindset caused you or those around you harm? 4. Where in your life and your business do you need help? 5. Who can you ask for help? And that is what I want to leave you with today. If you want to explore this further, I highly recommend visiting my website, megscolleen.com, for the full episode notes. I have included a few extra links where you can dive deeper, review the articles I have cited, and discover what today's freedom holds for you and your journey. All right, I'll see you next week. Freedom is yours. Thank you for joining me for another Live Your Freedom Now podcast episode. If you enjoyed this episode, I'm always so grateful for a 5-star rating, and you can learn more about me, my currently enrolling Creative Business Accelerator, and download my free Integral Sales and Marketing Masterclass at megscolleen.com. Curious to have the dominant dogma in your life talked about on the podcast? Shoot me a text at 312-815-2774 and fill me in. I'll see you next time, and as always, freedom is yours.